Hey, how's it going? Thank you for stopping by, checking out my YouTube channel, checking out my YouTube page. Look at me in 4K, people. 4K. No more black bars on the side of my screens. I'm in 4K now. All right, so I'm actually doing my final review for the DeWalt DCW200. So 200B as in Bravo. All right, so if you watched some of my videos, I did do an unboxing video on this. I did an unboxing video because I was just ecstatic. I literally had it in hand the day it was available in retail stores. Watching it 2 months before it was released. So I got it. I have it. It's mine. So again, this is the DeWalt DCW200 cordless sander. All right, so there's one other person who's actually has a YouTube video that's doing a video on this, and to be honest with you, it looked pretty clean. So I'm not sure if he put it to work. And he also mentioned that you can't use a DeWalt 60-volt flex battery, which is actually incorrect. You just have to do a slight modifications, a tool hack, as I would say. So if you're interested in using a 60-volt flex battery, and you're wondering, how the heck did I get it to fit? In the description, I have a short video that actually shows you how to mod it so that it fits. Nothing to avoid your warranty, nothing. All right, so let's get down to business. What do I think of this? I think the biggest complaints people are going to say, they're going to complain about, it doesn't have any power. I'm running out of battery. Well, you know what? That doesn't actually have anything to do with the damn tool, right? I mean, it all depends on how many batteries you have. You know, what type of batteries you're using. So you see, these are the collections of the batteries that I have. And I actually did use each and every one of these batteries, okay? At first, my initial thinking was, hey, I'm gonna have to use this because I'm just not gonna have the ability to sand for a long extended period of time. I may not have the power that I need, and I was completely wrong. All right, for a smaller project, I would say that you could use a 20-volt 5AH battery. If you're sanding an entire wall, an entire ceiling, it's probably not your go-to guy. My go-to guy was actually this guy right here. This is the DeWalt 20-volt 3AH. I did an entire ceiling. Almost an entire wall with this, right? Almost an entire wall. And then I switched to this, and I did almost an entire ceiling. Okay, now I gotta be real honest with you. I am not, by any means, in the trades. Someone who does sanding or mudding. Do I know how to do it? Sure. May have used too much mud? Probably. So would it look the same as someone who does it every single day? Probably, or close to. But I'm doing a hell of a lot more sanding. These guys that do it day in and day out. When it comes to sanding, most of the time they're not doing really much sanding at all. They're just they have gotten that down to a science. They've gotten it down to an art. So when I say I used one of these batteries and it only lasts this long, when I say I did half the ceiling with this, keep in mind that I'm doing a hell of a lot of sanding. So if you're just an average Joe using this, then you're probably in the same boat as me. So I would say if you were to do an entire wall and it took 2 batteries, and I'm also not being like extra conservative, like as soon as I'm done, I need to turn it off. Like, no, I'm like, all right, let me take a look, let me feel that, and then go right back at it, doing like that, so, yeah. So you could definitely use one of these. When I went to the ceiling, I started using one of these because I just kind of wanted to see, this is the, this is the 4AH. I just kind of wanted to see, how long it was going to last. And to be honest with you, the 20-volt flex, for the amount of time that I was using it, I didn't kill it at all. This thing was just like insane. But I took it off because it was just too heavy. So I had this scale sitting here for a reason. This is why I'm doing this full final review. So look, anybody can go online and read you the specs, right? So it's a variable speed. It's got it right here. It goes from 12,000 to 14,000, in case you're wondering. It's got the clamp up front, just so you can hold sandpaper. It's got the guard, so you can actually punch in your holes to actually use it for. You don't have to buy the sandpaper that has the pre holes in it. Nice dust collector. It works really well. Okay, one thing I did notice. Take a look at this. So if you watch the tool hack, and I went through every single battery and I stuck it in here. I actually got some of the batteries stuck, and I couldn't get them out. Like I had to put some elbow grease in to get them out. So the only thing I would say is if you're doing something upside down or doing at certain angles, I think it does kind of collect in there. So you know, you kind of see it's garbed in it all over the place. And I did wipe it down, but I think that after using it for a couple hours, I used it, man, probably at least 12 hours. I did an entire room, ceilings, walls. I mean, I'll show you in a second. You know, so at least 12 hours I was working on that room completely. I've been sanding the whole time, but I was, you know, mudding, taping, whatnot. And this actually took a lot of, a decent amount of dust in there. So I would suggest that you take a compressor and blow this out. I intentionally left it like this just because I wanted you to see it, how it looks, and see that I actually was legitimately using it, because I think it's unfair to do a review on a tool that you haven't really used. And that's why sometimes I don't necessarily like doing unboxings, because I don't want to leave a first impression. I want to actually use it for a while and then give my overall impression. So if you're interested in purchasing the sander as well, and you're like, all right, cool, yeah, I was in the same boat as you, man, I've been looking for it. How the heck did you find it? I couldn't find it in any retail store. So I actually bought it on HomeDepot.com. So I paid $129 for it. Looks like it's on sale right now for $119. $119. So it looks like I'm going to be taking my receipt and asking for that money a little bit back, because within 30 days. So yeah. So if you're looking to pick one up, I would just jump online, because this is probably a hot commodity, being just a new product. I'm not sure if you'd actually be able to walk in the store and buy it, at least at this point, right? Because they're so new. Probably quantity is limited. So just put it out there. Yep, impression of it. So overall impressions, this thing's a beast. I'll never ever use a corded sander again. There's no reason to. We're at the point in technology that we just don't have to. You know, especially if you're on a scaffold, if you're on a ladder, you know, or you're on some stilts, why do you want a cord wrapping you? Why do you want a cord constricting you, or your ability to do your job? So phenomenal. You could, so if I was to buy this and I didn't have any batteries, and I had to make the investment in buying the battery, then I would go with the 4AH. Just because I think maybe it's a little overkill than the 3AH, but batteries are expensive, right? So I want to get the best bang for my buck. If I had the 3AH already, I'd use the 3AH, because I wouldn't want to use I just wouldn't want the added heavy weight. So I would, if I had to buy a battery, I'd go to the 3AH, and I think it would give me a sufficient amount of time using it, especially if you have two, you can swap them out. You know, and it's realistic expectations of a cordless tool. If you got a couple hours on something, you know, like, come on, you know, what are you really expecting? And it really ran right up until the end. It wasn't like I was using it and I just started noticing like, oh, it's sucking, it's not, you know, the power isn't there. It was like full blown balls to the wall the whole entire time, and then boop, stopped working. A couple seconds it was like, and then done. So I would say that it was great. The other thing is that some of these batteries, to be honest with you, like some people, they start to use a battery automatically because they think, well, this is really powerful, so I should use a 4AH. Well, to be honest with you, there's certain batteries I use more than others, right? So to lengthen the expectation or the lifespan of that battery, I don't always do that. Sometimes I want to kill a battery, I want to drain it all the way down, just so I can charge it all the way back up, because I don't want to, you know, to create memory. And I know they say nowadays batteries don't do that, but I've seen that time and time again. So I wouldn't say that if you had a 5AH not to use it. Why not? Go ahead. Just know that you're going to kill the battery. You know, will it have the power that it needs to run? Absolutely. But it's not going to, you know, last as long as a 3AH. So I'm not knocking if you have a smaller battery, you know, that you not to use it. Go ahead. If it's on a flat surface like this and you're sanding, you could definitely use a 60 volt. No big deal. If you're sanding on a wall, no big deal. Now, if you're putting this over your head, this is just going to kill you. If you're doing one or two spots, you know, okay. If you're sanding an entire ceiling, and this thing is heavy, so that's why this is here. I want to see something really quick. So the tool by itself is 1 pound, 6.6 ounces. Okay. Turn this. I'm not going to clip it all the way in. I'm just going to slide it in there. just so it's holding, because it gives me problems. What's going on here, buddy? Alright. I didn't clip it in because I gotta clean it out, so I just told you about the whole cleaning it. Okay, so out the way. That is 4 pounds, 10.8 ounces. So 4 pounds above your shoulder for an hour or two. That's pretty heavy. So let's get rid of this 90-volt flex. Let's go down to a 4AH. 3 pounds, 12.4 ounces. Okay. And the guy that I say we should go with, let's see what we got. 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. 3AH. Down to 1.5 AH. 3 pounds, 3 ounces. 3 pounds, 3 ounces. So, you got a bad shoulder, and you know it. You know, you don't think you can hang with the weights. Now you kind of got an idea like how much these are actually weighing just by themselves. Just this battery alone weighs 2 pounds, 4.4 ounces. Just this battery, almost 2.5 pounds. The 3AH, 1 pound, 5.8 ounces, so 1.5 pounds. 3AH, 1 pound, 3.2 ounces, so 1 pound, 3 ounces, let's just say. And this is 12.6 ounces. So just kind of give you an idea like how much they weigh. I think this is a great tool. See, I'm knocking all kinds of crap out of this guy. But phenomenal tool, highly recommend it. I can't say anything bad about it. No, I'm going to definitely buy the orbital one, the rotating one. This is the quarter sheet. I did it because I want to do some fine finishing. I'm gonna bring in the room and I'm gonna show you kind of what I've done. And then I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison. The biggest difference that I noticed that in the orbital one, the spinning one, rotating one, is how this dust collector is placed, where it's placed, how it's mounted, so you don't have the issues with the batteries. I'm assuming just by kind of looking at it in the images. I haven't seen one physically in person, so I'm gonna go ahead and purchase that one as well. I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison. You know, am I getting the same type of performance levels, battery life levels that I'm getting with this? And I'm assuming it's gonna be the same, but you know, we'll see. So if you're interested in knowing about the orbital sander, you know, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications, and you'll see when I upload that video. And I'll also throw in the description, or I'm sorry, not in the description, in the comments of this video when I do that video. So any questions, concerns, anything you want to know about this before you make the purchase, you know, go ahead and drop it in the comments, let me know. I normally respond to my videos right away. Most of the time within minutes, because I get the notifications on my phone, I just reply. I am a lineman, so there's times that I don't. But good chances are that I'll reply, at least within the hour. I would say that most of the time. So yeah, so do me a favor, just go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to my video, man. Plenty more DeWalt videos to come. I got a ton of DeWalt tools. So yeah, if there's a particular DeWalt tool that you are interested in purchasing, you know, you're on the fence about something, you know, do me a favor, throw it in the comments. Say, hey Rick, do you have this tool? Chances are I do have it. And if I don't have it, it may not be able to, you know, be too hard to break my arm, squeeze my arm, you know, twist my arm to go ahead and buy it. So this is not a sponsored DeWalt tool video. I wouldn't mind it though. Hey DeWalt, what's up, brother? But no, this is all out of my hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. So again, thanks for watching. God bless. And let me go ahead and jump in this room really quick here and show you kind of what I'm doing. Hold on. Here we go. So here's the room that I've been working on. Saying it really, really nice. I got a couple of muddy more to go, but yeah, looks like a DeWalt commercial threw up in here, right? Yeah, so that's it. This is the old, my house was built in 1865. This is the exterior wall that is now interior, obviously. So this is what I wanted to see because I didn't want to ruin this board. I want to finish everything, fix all the little nail holes, etc., etc. So here's my project, this room. So I bought it. So yeah, I'll definitely be doing some updated videos. We're using the table saw and the chop saw. We're doing a lot of crown molding. We're gonna do beadboard at the top and do my own tongue and groove. So yeah, if you haven't seen those type of videos on my channel before, get ready. Start doing a lot of putting these tools to work, so to speak. Not just reviewing them, actually seeing them in action. So thanks for watching. God bless.